Good morning, Stampers. Welcome to a Friday Live on a Wednesday today because I'm out of town this weekend. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. And every week I come to you with a live crafting video. I am just updating my iPad so I can see your comments. Be sure to say hi as you join in, so that I know you're watching, and if you're watching from afar, let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where everybody is watching my videos. Okay, let's adjust this. All right, okay, so normally how I start the videos is I will draw for last week's project. So last week I created this scrapbook page. And you can watch the replay either on my YouTube channel, my blog, which is stamptreasures.com, or on Facebook here. Good morning, Mary Liz. But this morning I ran out of time. 9:30 comes a lot faster than 11. I ran out of time and I didn't get everybody's name entered into the draw. So I will do that later today, and I'll post the winner on my, good morning, Amy, good morning, Shirley. I will post the winner on my Facebook page, okay? And just a little heads up, whenever I do a scrapbook page or a 3D project, which I'm doing a 3D project today, if the winner is not local, I always have an alternate project to send them. So if I don't draw a local name, if it's somebody local whose name is drawn, or somebody who's close, who makes trips into Edmonton or Sherwood Park often enough, I will set this aside for them. But if they are away, Alice says, oh, she's in Vancouver. Nice. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're having sunshine. I had to put my scarf on this morning. It's cold. So anyways, if I draw somebody who is not local and I have to put it in the mail, I've got a collection of 3 cards that I will send them instead. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna set that aside so you can watch for that later today. I will do it actually just right after I finish with the video. I just ran out of time. I didn't want you guys to wait, for those of you who are waiting. Second of all, let me just grab something. Today, and for only today, so it's one day only, it's a 24-hour stamp sale. So this has been posted on my blog, it's been posted on my Facebook page. There is a selection of stamps that are 15% off, and there are some great stamp sets on here. Good morning, Kathy. I was really excited to see this list because there are a lot of great stamp sets that are on sale. And today on my Facebook page, if you missed it, I am posting every hour from 7 a.m. all the way till 8 p.m. tonight. I am posting a different sample featuring one of those stamp sets. So you'll have tons of inspiration all throughout the day. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the camera around and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Good morning, Beth. And I'm going to apologize for the sniffing. I don't know if I'm coming down with a cold, but I have been sniffing and blowing my nose all morning. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm not gonna show you what we're making just yet. We're just gonna go ahead and craft. So I posted yesterday, because I had no idea. Yesterday afternoon, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to use one of the stamp sets that was on the 24-hour sale, because there's so many great ones, but I had no idea what to do. So I posted on my Facebook page asking if you guys were interested in cards or a layout or a 3D project. And the first person to respond was, responded with 3D project. So I thought I would use these snow globe shaker domes. Now I picked these up a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and haven't done anything with them yet. And I don't have the coordinating stamp set, so there is this really pretty snow globe stamp set that coordinates with these. But I did not pick that up. I just picked the snow globes up, the domes up, because I thought they would make really cute ornaments. So that's what we're gonna create today. We're gonna use 2 of those, and we are going to use the Winter Wood stamp set, which is one of the ones that is on sale. It is regular $31, on sale for $26.35, and I love this stamp set. I love it not just for holiday themed cards or projects, but also for masculine birthdays. It makes a great masculine birthday card. I love this image here, but this one's really pretty, and of course the spruce tree. So lots of great images in that set. So the first thing that we're going to do is I've got a piece of balmy blue cardstock, and I'm going to use this large image here and some balmy blue ink, and I'm going to stamp this twice. Actually, these larger images I prefer to stamp like this, or to ink like this. Okay, so I'll stamp it once here. Make sure to push in the middle, just because this is quite detailed. Like, look how detailed that is. It's pretty, just like that. And then I'm going to ink it up again and stamp it again. So I'm pretty excited because this weekend I have a crafting retreat. So I'm heading out of town tomorrow, and I get to craft all weekend long. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper, and I have a mixture. I think this is the same mixture that I used last week. This is a mixture of rubbing alcohol and white shimmer paint, and I'm going to spritz this cardstock. Now I'm going to move my iPad out of the way for a minute. Do not want to spritz my iPad. So I'll just give it a shake, make sure it's really well mixed. And the reason I use rubbing alcohol is because it dries faster. Okay, so I'll show this a little closer in a bit. It's got this beautiful sparkle to it. So we'll set that aside. Bring back my iPad so I can see if you guys have questions along the way. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next step. I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I am going to use Old Olive, and I've got the branch from the stamp set, the same Winter Wood stamp set. I'm going to ink that up and stamp it twice. And then I'm going to use the little pine cone. I love the pine cone in this set. It's got so much detail on it. It's beautiful. Look at that. So pretty. Okay, we're going to continue on with our stamping. I'm going to set that aside for now. And I'm going to bring in, now I am using a greeting. It's called Peace and Happiness. It says Peace and Happiness, and it is from the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set. I love this whole Itty Bitty series of stamp sets that we have. So we've got an Itty Bitty Greetings, we've got an Itty Bitty Christmas, and we've got an Itty Bitty Birthdays. And they're all fabulous because there's a ton of variety in the set. So these are all Christmas themed. There's some that will work on the outside of cards, some that will work on the inside of cards. You know, sometimes you just need a small little greeting that you want to add to things. This is perfect for it. So we want this, and we want a piece of vellum. So I've just got a scrap of vellum here, and my Versamark ink. Beth, you have all 3 of them? I know, they're fabulous, right? I think they're must-haves in your stamp collection. It just gives you so much variety. Okay, and I'm going to stamp this twice. Look how new and clean that is. I finally picked up a new Versamark ink pad because mine was so dirty. I mean, it still works fine, but this one is amazing. It's so nice to have fresh new ink pad. Now I've got some white embossing powder. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to bring over my heat tool. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle this with white embossing powder, tap off the excess, scoot that out of the way, grab my heat tool. Yeah, that would be nice if they were on sale, isn't it? Wouldn't it be, Amy? Okay, so I've got my heat tool. Just untangle the cord here and plug it in. Okay, so this cord is even shorter than the old one, so I'm gonna have to bring this off screen to emboss it. I apologize for that. Okay, so this heat tool has 2 settings. My old one only had 1. So I'm going to use the lower setting for the vellum so that it doesn't warp the, or curl the vellum. Sorry, this is off camera. I should really grab an extension cord to keep in my craft area. You see it's starting to change there. I do notice that this heat tool takes a lot longer than my other heat tool. The other one is packed up, ready for my retreat. Let's just speed this up a little bit here. Still not done. My goodness, it takes a long time. Okay, we're good now. Okay, so now I am going to pull in my paper cutter and trim these into strips. Still loving my new trimmer. Okay, so using vellum, even though I didn't stamp straight, this is gonna allow me to make sure that I cut straight. So I'm just gonna cut this into 2 little strips. I think that looks straight. Okay, I'll set that aside and do the same for this one. Amy, you have problems heat embossing on vellum with the old heat tool, with the black one? I don't. I find you do have to be very careful not to overheat it. So what I do is I heat the heat tool first, so I let it warm up a little bit, and then I hold it a little bit further away. Like this particular one, I was holding it quite close. But with the old heat tool, I hold it a little further away, and I don't, I make sure it's continually moving, and I make sure that I don't hold it in one spot for too long, and I'll move it away and then bring it back. I do find it curls a little bit, but as long as you're adhering both sides, then I find it's fine. So I do find that it works a lot faster than this one. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I think this is pretty dry. So we're gonna bring in the big shot, because what we are going to do is we're going to use the layering circles. I'm going to use this large circle to cut out my tree, or trees. And then this is the In the Woods. These are the In the Woods dies. And I'm going to take out the pine cone and 2 of these leaf dies. So we're gonna die cut all of this stuff. So that's why I left such a big space in between these 2 leaves and the pine cones, so that I'd have enough room for the dies. So hopefully I'll be able to do it with one pass through the big shot. Okay, let's bring in the big shot. Ugh. Okay, so we will do the trees first. So now you can see, let's move this over, make sure that you guys can see what I can see, that this is not gonna cut the whole image. So what I'm going to do is I wanna make sure that I have the tops of my trees in. The bottoms don't matter so much. So I'm just gonna move that up just a little bit. And it's okay if some of the trees on the side get cut off. And then I'll repeat that. With the other one, I'll just repeat that. Just position it so I can see the tops of the trees. Oops, sorry, just budged the camera there. Okay, so that is done. We'll set that aside. And then we're gonna bring in our pine cone and our leaves. Good morning, Leanne. And we'll put this on here, position it. And with these little dies, you will find that they like to pull. Sometimes I can get them to line up, and if I'm just doing one, I'll just position it so that it stays. Even with the magnetic platform, it pulls. But because I'm doing multiple, I'm just gonna use a bit of washi tape and just hold that in place. Oh, and there's my phone. Okay, so position that where it needs to be, hold it in place, and then one more. So what does everybody else have planned for the weekend? Yes, Amy, it is the largest circle. Okay. So now by using the washi tape, you get that nice, perfect image. You don't have to worry about any of the dies moving when you run it through. Okay, so now I think we have all the pieces that we need. We can move this out of the way. Okay, now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my globes. Oh, are you heading into Edmonton? Michelle, I will be drawing right after this video. I'll finish putting the names in. So be sure to check Facebook before you head back out of town, just in case you're the lucky winner, because I know that that was one of the things that you wanted to win. Your comment from last week kind of made me chuckle. Okay, so I am lining this up so that the straight edge is at the bottom, and I'm just doing a line because I'm going to cut this off. Now there is a die in the die set that coordinates with the stamp set, and I'm not sure how, I don't know if the die, I think it cuts so that it goes around the outside, so then you wouldn't necessarily have to do this. If you had the dies that coordinate with those sweet cups, you could probably just use that die rather than the large circle. But like I said, I I don't have that die or that bundle set that coordinates with the domes. So I am making do with what I do have. Okay, so now I've got that. Now I'm going to take my greetings and I'm going to use mini glue dots to stick them on. Hey Alice, you keep losing me? I think it's fine on my end, so it might be something on your end. Hope you're having a great time in Vancouver. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on and I want to move it over so it's a little closer to the left. So I have a little bit more room on the right. And I'm trying to make this so that it's straight. My cutting was not that great, but that's okay. The right-hand side will get covered over. So I'm making sure that my words are straight with the bottom bit. And then I'm gonna do the same on this one. So if you haven't figured it out, we're doing a double-sided ornament. So that's why I'm repeating the same thing on both pieces. You could do, if you wanted to do a double-sided ornament, you could do it different on both sides if you wanted. You could also include a photo on one side if you wanted to do that. No, I think that needs to go over a little bit more. So that could be another way that you use these. And now my mini glue dot is, okay. So now I'm going to trim these off. And then, so Michelle, you're coming into Edmonton to pick up Halloween costumes. What do your kids want to be for Halloween? Or are these costumes for you? Okay, and now we are going to take our little die cut pieces and we're going to add those. So I'm just using a bit of Tombow and position these on here. And for this guy, I think I'll use a mini glue dot. Oh. Let's see, where are we gonna put this? I probably should have moved that over even just a little bit more. Just going to adjust this, move it all up a little bit so that I have a bit more room for my pine cone here. There we go. Okay, and then I've gone ahead and I've pre-stamped and die cut these pieces. You don't dress up, Michelle? And your kids can't make up their minds. How old are your kids now, Michelle? It's been a while since I've seen you. Oh, am I cutting out for you as well, Mary Liz? That's weird because my screen is fine. Okay, and then another mini glue dot. We'll add the pine cone on. Okay. Actually, while I've got this, I'm going to pull out, so these are the snowflake sequins, and I'm just going to add a few of these on here, and I'm going to do a mix, so some of them will be stars, some of them will be snowflakes, some of them will be sequins. Some of them will be white, some of them will be silver. Just using whatever I pick up. I've got glitter all over my hands. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same over here. $14, $12, $4, and $2. Wow. You got your hands full. Okay, 2 more. I probably should have pre-done one of these so that you guys didn't have to see me do 2. All right, so we are gonna need some more of that in a minute. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna work one at a time here. So I am going to take some of our ice Stampin' Glitter and I'm going to dump some of this right in the center, and then I'm gonna take a bunch of this and put it in the center as well. Trying to get it off my fingers. It's almost time to order another package of this. Almost all out. Okay, now I am going to take my paper piercing tool and peel off the backing on this and stick this over top. So just like that, and I'm going to push down quite hard because I really want that to set so none of my shaker stuff comes out. So then we've got this cute little shaker. Isn't that fun? So you could leave it like this and just punch a hole, add some thread up there, and you could stamp to and from, and it could be a gift tag, and then they could turn around and use it as an ornament. But we're going to make it double-sided. So I'm just going to repeat that step with this one, and you'll see how I make it double-sided. So some of that. A little bit more. Okay, let's cover that over so I don't spill that. I'm going to need that again in a minute. So I'm going to do the same thing and peel back the backing and stick this on. And really, I'm just trying to make sure, oh, I don't think that's very straight. Well, it's down now. You want to try to make sure if you've got words in there that they're lined up straight with the straight edge of your dome, and then make sure that you don't have any of the cardstock sticking out above or outside of the dome, the outside of the dome. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to lift up, actually, no, let's stick these together first before I do that step. I'm going to use Tombow. And you can see that the circle isn't perfect. So that's where the coordinating dies might work a little bit better if you're doing a single-sided ornament. So, and I'm just going to stick the two together. You're welcome, Amy. She said that I just made her shopping list longer. Okay. Isn't that fun? So you've got both sides decorated. Okay, so now, so on the outside of this dome, this is another piece that it's got adhesive backing on there. So it's sticky underneath here. So we need to do, well, I guess we don't need to do something. You could leave it like this, but we are going to do something with it. So I am going to, Okay, let me just figure out which side I want to be my right side. This is gonna be the front side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start to peel this up, but I want to leave just a little bit of this backing on here for a minute. I'm gonna peel off this and then trim this. So I want to leave that little bit because I want to do something different on that part. And now I'm going to take my ice glitter and sprinkle it, because you can never have enough glitter, right? So, and then I'm just going to use my finger and push it on. And then just keep going around. So by pushing it on, you're just setting it into the adhesive. Go all the way to the edge of that backing and tap off the excess. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat that step on this side, except this time I'm going to peel off the whole thing. I'm going to be covered with glitter for the rest of the day now. Okay. Okay, so tap off the excess. And then dump the rest of this back in here because you don't want to waste any of this precious glitter. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this around so that I've got the right way up. I'm gonna use my pencil and just kind of figure out where the center is down here. Go all the way up and just mark a spot here. This will just help me poke a hole. And I found, because you're going through 2 layers of plastic, I found that my crocodile works best. Now, if you don't have a crocodile and just have a regular punch, you can use that, but you might want to do your punching before you stick the 2 pieces together. And I found that it's easiest to go in, like you can't feed it in this way. You have to go in through the side. So I'm just looking, and I can see my pencil mark through the hole. So then I'll just punch that hole through there. And then I've got a piece of ribbon. This is actually, it's retired ribbon. It's 1/8 of an inch sheer Whisper white ribbon. You could use any ribbon, or even baker's twine works too. I'm just gonna trim a piece. This is probably, I don't know, maybe 8 inches. And then I'm gonna fold that, put it through the hole. This would be a great project to do with kids as well, and this could be, like, this would make a great grandparents gift from the kids. Like, there's so many different things. And like I said, you could make it two-sided, and it doesn't have to be the same on both sides. You could have a photo on the other side. Wouldn't it be cute, decorated on the one side and then with a photo shaker on the other side of maybe the child with the grandparent or something like that? That'd be adorable. Okay, and then I've got a piece of the polka dot tulle ribbon, and I am going to sometimes it is finicky to get through there. I use one of those, you know, when you have braces and you have those flossers. I still have them from when my kids had their braces. So I use one of those to sometimes get it through. This was pretty easy. It's pretty narrow to feed it through. Okay, so I'm tying a bow with this sheer ribbon, which it's not the easiest ribbon to tie a bow, but the bows sure look pretty. The little dots on it are kind of like they're a text, like a fabric, and they kind of get stuck a little bit. This is not working for me. Let's flip this a little bit. Okay, and then this is gonna go on like that. So let's just trim that a little bit here. And so now I will go back in and take the backing off of that. And then pop this on here, like so. We'll trim this so that it's at an angle. There we go. And look at that. Isn't that cute? So you could do another bow on the other side, but I decided to just add the one bow. But then you want a way to present it. Kathy says she's going to make a picture one for Papa with all the grants. Yeah, that would be so adorable. So then when you go to present it, you want to present it in a nice box, right? Well, they fit perfectly in a little pizza box. Look at that. That is definitely a wow when they open it. So let me tell you how I did the pizza box. So this is just regular one of our white pizza boxes. I used the same stamp set. So the Winter Woods stamp set to decorate it and the coordinating framelits. So in the background, you can kind of see, I used that birch tree set and just stamped it multiple times on Sahara sand, matted that onto a piece of basic gray. And then these pieces are, so I die cut 2 of these from Old Olive and 2 of these from Pear Pizzazz, tuck those in behind. And then this is just the leaf punch, punched from vellum. And then the greeting is from the same set. Oops, wrong one. This guy. So thinking of you this season, I stamped it in basic gray, and then I stamped it again and fussy cut around the word season and popped that up using dimensionals. Then I just used some silver thread to twirl it around there and added a few rhinestones. Stick that back on there. And then you open it up and you have that beautiful ornament inside. And it all goes together. I mean, it would have been cute, I guess, if I had used the blue to decorate the box, then it all would have coordinated a bit better, but that's okay. I wanted to switch up the colors a little. So I hope you enjoyed the project for this week. So again, if you want to be entered to win this, if you're local, then comment below, share the post. You get 5 entries if you share, whether you're watching the replay or the live video. And if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to comment below as well. And thank you all who commented on last week's video. I had a ton of comments on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed it and have a fabulous weekend. I will see you again. We'll go back to our regular Friday live next week. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.